This one is not a businessman. He's holding our common patrimony, our common wealth. He can spend it that way. He can afford to give what the entire state allocation for 6 months, because he's going to stay for 4 years or more. So he has a lot of money at his disposal to throw around, and you know there's hunger in the land. We are talking about hunger before now. This time, I don't know what we are going to call it now. Before now, if you go attend any political rally, you see people fighting, trying to kill themselves over 200 naira. No matter how rich they came with good cars, but when the money is being shared, how much? 200, they will struggle to take the money home. The economy is that bad. Not to talk of now, where, in fact, it's a hopeless situation. So the man has all the money on earth, and it's very possible that you throw money around, and still, at the end of the day, nobody believed Tinubu will win this election because of all the threats on us. All those threats about it is my turn, that people were saying, can somebody say a thing like that in an election period, in an election contest, and you have up to 18 contestants with you, and you're saying it's your turn in a place that is assumed to be civilized locally here, within the sub-region here. Nigeria seems to be civilized, and you are making such utterance that it is your turn. The man was not making, there was no election campaign promises. All he was doing was to threaten everybody. And at the end of the day, he still won the election. The same youths who we are shouting and complaining that they must be given a space, they conducted the election. They were the National Youth Service, whatever, that was brought to conduct the election. They were the presiding officers and all that. The youths. And at the end of the day, what happened? All of us know what happened. Money exchanged hands. And the same man whom nobody gave any space won the election. So I want to tell you that what happened in, just like I said, that here is a place where evil becomes a tradition because it has been, there for a very long time. So it becomes a tradition. The same thing that happened up there, if you don't take time, no matter how bad you think the administration of Uzodinma is, the man will still win. But let me also tell you that the man is also working. I'm from there. I told you how roads in my village are being fixed. For the first time since the world was created, the roads everywhere are being fixed. All the federal highways between Owerandalo, between Andoro Kigwe, just close your eyes and open it here in Kigwe, Andalo. He's working. But people are saying that what he's doing doesn't want anybody's blood. Yeah. Even if it's $1 million, doesn't want anybody's blood. So let's wait and see.
All right, shortly before we go today, a Twitter user, Jackson, today had a tweet alleged that the CJN had, through a telephone conversation, advised President Tinubu and the APC to get ready for a rerun of the 2023 presidential election that is conceding defeat. Yes. Reacting to the allegation, the APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Morga said, would they fabricated a falsehood on a matter of serious national importance that is actively under review by the Presidential Election Petition Court. And now, asking that they are preparing for a run. This is not the first time it has been on pages of the newspapers that are talking about, getting ready for a run. Even the Labour Party reacted to this issue. And that if this is true, though the National Publicity Secretary of the party, APC, has said it is not true. And then, but in journalism where we are, there is always an element of truth in every rumor. So what's your take and reaction on that?
Well, this is not the first time we're hearing that. Sometimes it was also alleged that the Chief Judge of the Federation was found on a wheelchair in Heathrow Airport in London, where the Muslim went to see Tinubu. And didn't know that London is like a area market for Nigerians. They are everywhere there. No matter how much you camouflage, no matter how you hide, they will still know you are there. So telling us that Tinubu didn't have any conversation. How is it possible? Are they talking to toddlers? They've been talking all this while. There's no how Tinubu may not have spoken with the Chief Judge, probably relating national issues. You understand? Yeah. In the course of those discussions, one another, jokes may have been thrown over. and somebody somewhere took it serious. You understand?
Yes.
And I know for a young man to have beaten his chest and brought out this information,
Openly.
there must be some iota of fact in that very speculation. So it's not a big deal, and I don't know why, if APC is strong as they told us, I don't know why they are scared about going for a run. You know, they should, go to the field and have a clean sweep.
All
Again,
right,
that's what they told us they did.
General, before we go, in January 2020, the Supreme Court under Justice Kekere Ikun voided the election of Emeka Ihedioha of the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP, as the governor of Imo State, declaring Uzodinma the rightful winner. In February 2023, the court, led by Sentus Mweze, also controversially declared Senate President Ahmed Lawal the authentic candidate of the APC for Yobe North Senatorial District, and former Akwa Ibom State Governor Godwill Akpabio the legitimate candidate of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. And if you look at these three judgments, that is what led to this visa ban on these justices and so on. So before we go, what is your advice, both to the judiciary and also even the people we remember shortly before this election, INEC were everywhere, especially Festus Okoye, the lawyer, was everywhere, assuring Nigerians that this BVAS is a game changer and that it's not going to be business as usual. But it looks as if it's turning out to be the worst. So while we're talking to the judiciary, also INEC should also learn something from what is happening and the level of loss of confidence.
Well, the lawyers that teamed up to represent Emefiele, we are saying something on TV, the national TV, a few days ago. They said that that they came to do what the law required of them to do, no matter who is involved. Whether you are the enemy, whether you've been fighting them before now. They cited Magu. They said that Magu messed up lawyers during his tenure. At the end of the day, when he was sacked and wanted to be prosecuted, lawyers also came to, defend him. The little boy, the young man, for 40 years or so, they brought to be. When I saw him, I said this is a joke. That this young man may not have built a bungalow in his village, and they are bringing him to handle such a very sensitive position where billions of naira
exchange hands.
Exchange hands and all that. No way. A young man that doesn't have hope, that doesn't have a future in Nigeria, saw an opportunity to enrich himself, build house for himself, save money for his children and unborn children, and you want him to be straight. It will not be possible. At the end of the day, that young man, messed up lawyers and couldn't listen to them, couldn't listen to, court orders. Today, he's in detention, and the lawyers are saying, look at Bawa again. The same Emefiele, a lot of other orders we are given, some orders we are given before he was suspended, and he ignored it. When they told him to pay somebody compensation, court gave an order over. He ignored it. Today, he's in detention. Also, lawyers are there to defend him. So the same thing goes to our brother, who is also a lawyer, Festus Okoye and Mahmoud, who should be a symbol of good moral conduct, particularly the prof. At the end of the day, just like I said, our young men are watching, our children are watching, the world is watching, because in 1999, the man who was the chairman of INEC, Professor Humphrey Ephraim Akpata, he's left now, he's no longer there. Gubadia came, he's no longer there. Humphrey Wosu, he's no longer there. Jega, you can imagine. So, Professor Yakubu should also know that posterity is watching and will judge him. So they have to be very careful about, because election is a very serious matter. That is what decides the future of every society, the future of every nation. But I know that there were some, one or two little improvements, because before now we've not seen it this serious. My son voted for the very first time and was very excited, but a little bit got disappointed and was asking me, Daddy, are you sure you forced me? I went there and stood under the red and look at what they are doing now. Are you sure I'm going to vote again? You can imagine. They've started doubting the process already. But we are believing that with one or two things that happened, the B factor and all that, the tsunami that took place, people that didn't believe they will became, somebody who is in the north central area, Kaduna State area, a motorcycle operator, a bike man, Okada man. There was no candidate. There was no candidate. They just decided, even though he was his provincial councillor sometime in the 90s, nobody within the locality to be the candidate of Labour. And the man, he said, okay, put me there. That election day, as they were conducting the election, when the collation was going on, someone called him to come and take them to somewhere. He was carrying them to their destination, and they are calling him on foot. Come back, or you are winning the election. He couldn't believe it. So a lot of surprises happened as a result of, some innovations in the electoral process. But we know, and I believe that if what we are seeing, the attention of the international community, just like the EU have said, is pushed harder, a lot of improvement will come, no doubt.
All right, our wonderful viewers, this is where we're drawing the curtain today. Remember, life is not computed by its duration but by its donation. Doesn't really matter how long you live on planet Earth here, but what you're able to drop in the footprint of life as legacies, what matters. You can imagine the United Nations, United States, placing visa ban on Nigerian Supreme Court justices. If there are professions that are highly esteemed, I think the justices, especially that of the Supreme Court, is one of the esteemed profession in the legal luminary, in the legal profession. Fortunately, you can see how some of them were insulted right there at the embassy where they were about traveling for a seminar, maybe to give a talk that would have earned them dollars, and see how they were disappointed because of what they did. The other time the US call it controversial judgment. So you out there, I don't know, you may not be a judge. Whatever opposition you're seeing yourself, make sure it is judiciously used. And one thing I will say, if you're a governor, govern well. If you're a chairman, chair well. And whatever position you see yourself, make sure you do it well. On that note, we are coming to the end of today's program. Remember, tomorrow is very, very important. And what you do today will be there to look at you face to face tomorrow. Because of that, we should make sure our hands are clean. Having said that, Honorable Tony Abayam, we are very pleased to have you today.
Thank you so much, and our viewers out there, we appreciate you for being here for us. Please, Abia State Government, I want to appeal on behalf of the Aba residents that something should be done urgently about police brutality, lawlessness, and harassment of our young men, particularly our young men. They are being tagged criminals. Every young man between the age of 17 and 30 is now being tagged a Yahoo boy. Dressing well is now an offense in Aba. So it's a serious thing, and something Governor Lexoti, please try as much as possible to do something. Thank you.
All right, our viewers, that's where we're drawing the curtain. Remember, other programs of the Living Television be coming your way. And also on Tuesday, again, Issues of the Moment, and Wednesday, Nigeria Today, and so many other programs as it is in your area, Soul to Soul, Spirit to Spirit, and so many other programs that be coming your way. Don't just go away. This is your anchor man, Chineduma DLS, signing off for now. Bye.